Hi guys, we're back with another Crafty Twins mood board challenge. So Essie put together the mood board this time and here it is, perfect, peaches, teals, greys. If you want a copy of this, I'll leave the link to my Facebook page below and you can grab it over there. So I started with, I've got my pocket page notebook from the stamp spot and I've got two photos which I liked because they were sort of grey. And then of course my obsession with the AC's digital store continues. So I've printed out a whole pile of papers that I thought went with the mood board. So I love that marble paper from Maggie Holmes. So of course I've printed about 1 million different pages of that, but on vellum even more special. And then I've just picked out two of the other pieces that I printed that I thought matched the mood board. So a darker peach and a lighter peach, and I'm going to put one of those on either side of the actual pocket page piece because I'm going to insert my vellum marble paper into the pocket. And so I've almost got like a 3-page spread this week. So sorry about the camera, I'm not sure what its problem is here. It does sort itself out, but I am just going to stick down both pieces of these paper that I've printed. I've just stuck them on either side, and then I'll just trim off the little pieces that overhang that. So that's the beauty with these digital files, is like you can cut them to any size that you want. So I just cropped them in Photoshop and printed them out on both pieces on an A4 bit of paper, so hardly any wastage at all, and I just loved them. It was so perfect for this mood board, so as soon as I saw the mood board I knew exactly which papers I'd be using. So this is the base for my page, and now I can just get on with it. I've got my two 3x4 photos and I'm going to place them vertically rather than horizontally like that. I do wish that they filled up the whole page, but I was trying to print economically, so I'm just going to have a little gap at the top and the bottom. And then on the right hand page I am going to use all of these digital printables that I made the other day. If you haven't seen the video on how I did that, I'll leave the link here for you. I hadn't intended to do this with them, but they were sitting there in that little bowl and they just matched perfectly. So I figure if you love them, why not use as many as you can? So I've picked out all the ones that match the mood board, pinks, and there's a couple of little teal ones in there and some greys. And I'm going to make almost a horizontal column of them on the right hand page. And I did toy with having one maybe on the pocket page, on the vellum page, and I'm just going to add one onto the left just to tie the two pages together. So here I go, spreading them out just up the page. These ones were sort of perfect because the photo is me sitting in the sun. It's been such a dark winter here and I've just been craving some sunlight, and it is only just starting to come back again. So when I find it, I take full advantage. So this is actually in my studio, and just one afternoon the sun was just streaming through the windows and I just sat there and just fully soaked it in for as long as I could and decided to take a photo to celebrate that. So that was definitely worth the page in my notebook. So now I've got the little pieces roughly where I want them, I can go ahead and stick them down. I'm just adding that one slightly off the page and trimming it down. See, these ones were perfect. See, I mean, it says spring and dreaming of flowers and sunshine, which I definitely am with all the blossom popping up. It's just my favourite time of year, apart from the hay fever, I will say that. I maybe won't gladly put up with the hay fever, but it is the trade-off, I guess. And just to add a little bit of texture, I'm adding an actual staple onto that stapled piece. And same with this little tag here, I'm going to punch out the hole and I'm actually going to add some gold thread to it. So doing those sorts of little things just makes these like digital printed pieces just seem a little bit more real. So the gold thread's going to hang off the top of the page and I have no problem with that. And same with this little threaded one. I thought what would be cute is to actually thread some thread around it. So it's got the printed thread on it, and I'm not going to fully cover up all of that, mostly because I'm being stingy with my vintage gold thread, but I added a fair amount to it, and I'm just going to stick that down, and it just adds a little bit of texture, and of course because it's sort of gold and glitzy, a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to add my journaling just on the 3 tags that are there, so it's not a huge story to tell, so the 3 tags fitted in nicely. But I'm also just using a grey pen to try and tone that down a little bit. And then I really am stuck on, because I really love that die cut piece, that Hello Lovely, and I did want to add just something to the vellum piece. So just to cover up the glue on the back of that, I'm adding one of the other little circles, and that way you can't really see the glue. And I am going to add a couple of staples just to keep them on. I'm not sure that the double-sided tape would have stuck them to the pocket that well, so the staples will just make sure that it's right. And I did sort of think maybe I was done, but then I decided I would add a few of these tiny little cocoa vanilla shapes as well, because the colours were so perfect for the mood board and these papers, and these are from the stamp spot as well. So I'm just adding, when I add the heart onto the pocket page, because you can see through the back side, I'm trying to line one up on the other so you can't just see the glue on the back. And I am adding them on both sides of the page just to tie it all together. But mostly I was adding just a little bit more teal to it. It didn't have quite enough teal for me. So I'm mostly adding little teal ones. And maybe just a couple more, because once I start, I can't stop. These little shapes are just too delicious. And now I'm actually done. Don't forget to check out Essie's gorgeous creation. I'll leave the link down below in the description box. And if you join in, which we would love you to join in, do tag us in, because we want to see what you create. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!